How are you, Jill?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on with you guys.
Ah, you're so welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you for being on. And I have my co-host, Deborah Kofer, smiling over at me.
Hey, Jill.
Hey, Deborah, how are you, girl?
Oh, I am fabulous. I'm just doing wonderfully. And you know what? I'm so glad you're here with us, and we're going to heat up the airwaves here tonight. Yeah.
She doesn't like being with me alone, Jill.
Oh, thank God for you, Jill. Oh, you're a blessing.
I'll keep you company.
Ooh, whoop, whoop, as my granddaughter would say, yip, yip.
How you doing today, Jill?
I'm good. It's a good day here. I'm kind of like in the middle of mom life right now. We have my daughter has a huge history project, and we've been putting together a tri board, and
Oh
that
boy.
is I need to like switch over into music brain right now.
There
Oh,
you
my
go.
God.
There you go.
Calgon, take me away.
God, take me away.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that commercial from, I don't know if you were old enough to remember that commercial, but there used to be this commercial, and the woman would sit in this tub of Calgon and
Bubbles.
the bubbles, and they would just sit
I
and
don't
relax.
remember it.
Yes, you do. Don't even try it, okay? So right about now, I can use that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Don't even go there, Rodney, all right? It's me. You're talking to me, all
Yeah,
right?
I know. Damn it. So, Jill.
Somebody told me that I reminded them of that girl once. I don't know if you know this, but you remind me of this commercial with this Calgon girl, so you know I used it. And Mariah makes a reference. Gotta get up, get out of here, and go somewhere, right? And in one of her songs.
There you go. She's got it down.
Got it
I know
down, girl.
what you're referring to.
All right, you working it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh, that's
now,
great.
Now, where are you exactly? Where are you located?
She's a
I am
Jersey
in New
girl.
Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl.
Oh, you're a Jersey
Jersey
girl.
girl.
Okay, all right. So I don't have to feel jealous. You're not somewhere where it's nice and warm, and you're not sitting up on the beach and sipping a Mai Tai while we're sitting here. I'm sitting here with a fuzzy wuzzy sweater on.
Yes, it's definitely sweater. We went away to the Caribbean a few weeks ago, and it was just so wonderful. And I was sitting there on the beach, like watching the locals run, and I'm like, these people live on vacation. Like this is what they do. They get to do this every day. I hope they're appreciating this. Although I'm not going to complain because it's kind of been unseasonably warm, right? Like it hasn't
Yeah.
Oh
been that cold.
yeah,
Yeah, it almost
and
hit
it was
60
nice.
today.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I was like, yes, I can deal with this kind of winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can deal with it. You know we're going to pay for this.
Yeah,
You
we-
know
oh
we're gonna
yeah,
pay.
absolutely. And it's usually during my birthday month in January, so I'm not feeling that.
Well, so it
When's your
doesn't bother
birthday?
me.
January what?
January 9th.
Oh, so Capricorn power.
Woo,
Hey.
woo, oh, you too? Woo, woo. Oh, you really in trouble.
I'm the end of December, yeah.
All
so
right.
that is like it's my favorite time of year.
All right.
So-
But I love the fall. I'm mesmerized while I'm driving, just looking at the lead. I'm like, okay, Deborah, remember you're driving. So, you can't be a tourist at the moment, but it's beautiful.
And you never seen
You
Deborah
sound like a
drive. That's scary.
commercial.
Don't even try it, Rodney. Don't talk about my driving, all
No,
right?
okay, I'll leave it off air for now. Great. So, Jill, tell us a little bit about yourself. I got your bio here in front of me, but I don't want to read it off.
Oh, read it.
No problem.
Well, we've done some work with Atlantic Records, which is awesome. And under Clive
Yes.
Davis, that's fantastic. And what got you started in
Yeah,
music? When did you get started singing?
I sang before I spoke. That has always been something in me. It's part of my soul. That's just what I love to do. And my parents were both in education, and they were very adamant about me getting a good education and, being a straight A student and going to a really good college. And when I was in college, I decided I really want to focus on music. This is what I want to do. So I wound up getting what I thought was a record deal. And I was so excited, and we had this sit-down meeting with my parents, and I was just, I thought, like, all of my dreams were being answered. And it wound up being, like this, I always say, like a beautiful castle made of sand, and I watched it just crumble. It was completely fake. So I used my degree, and I got jobs at major record labels in the city. And
Excellent.
I decided nothing like this is ever going to happen to me again. I'm going to learn this business from the inside out. I worked for Atlantic Records and, Ahmed Erdogan and, major Arif Mardin and, music, major music guys, and I worked at Sony Music with Clive Davis, and I worked at all these places, and while I was at one of the labels, I had an opportunity to make a record.
That's awesome.
And I did it under a different name because I didn't want to do it under my name. I was kind of climbing the corporate ladder, and the record wound up charting on Billboard. And
Good for
here
you.
I am,
Awesome.
I'm working like a desk job in like the pit with the assistants and like answering phones, kind of like, you know, I worked my way up. I was like a peon when I started, and I was getting Billboard magazine to like promote to our managers of the artists that we had, and there was my alias name on Billboard, and I ripped it out and put it up on my cubicle, but I didn't tell anyone because I was there in a corporate capacity and I didn't think it was appropriate. And in doing that, I met some really, you know, well-respected producers, one of whom is Todd Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And much more recently, he said, you know, I wanted to do a freestyle project. And I would always go into the studio and demo songs for bigger artists. I've demoed a lot of songs for people like Kylie Minogue and, you know, just different artists. Someone goes in, sings a song, and then the song is presented to the artist, and they're told, sing it like this, right? I've done so many, that's called a demo. I've demoed so many songs.
Right.
And he said, do you want to come into the studio and demo some songs for some of these freestyle acts? Because I'm going to do a freestyle project. I said, cool, I love freestyle, I'll do it. And so I demoed some songs, and he let me hear a track, and I said, Todd, I love this track. This is like a me track. I love it. Let me write on it. And if you like it, include it in your project. And I don't want to be this alias anymore. I want to be my real self, Jill Tirrell, because this is a song that I would totally bump in my car and drive with the windows down and feel so excited about it. I said, don't even pay me for the session. Let me just write this song. And if you like what I do, put it on your project. Yeah, no problem. And I drove home, and I'm like, oh, he's never going to do this. But he did. He put it on the project, and that song wound up being the breakout single that everyone gravitated towards the most. And from that, they told me, you're doing a concert. And I thought, I don't do concerts. I'm a studio singer. I demo songs for artists. I'm not in the front. I've never sang live in front of anyone. Well, you're going to do a concert in Atlantic City. So the first show that I ever did was in Atlantic City at Taj Mahal a couple years ago on a stage with, you know, Debbie Gibson and these major acts, and
Good
I was
for
just,
you.
you know, absolutely freaking out. And so I've had this, you know, they say, you know, learn to swim by jumping in the deep end.
Yep.
As far as stage performing, that's what it's been for me. I used to be so scared. Now I'm a little bit more comfortable, and for the past 2 years, I've been touring around with these freestyle acts, and, you know, I put out a few more songs. We go out and sing them and perform them, and they like me, Rodney.
They
like
should
me.
like you. They should like you. Met Jill at a red carpet event, and we had a awesome conversation, and listening to her talk and her energy, and she was just so inspiring to have that moment with you, Jill. I really appreciated that time that we had.
Of course, she's a Capricorn.
Me too. That's great.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
This ain't about you right now, Deborah.
We Capricorns are out there, you
Yeah,
know?
you are.
We
You're out
love
there, all
people
right.
Out there, you know?
1 minute you got the foo-foo thing on, and the next minute it comes off. I can't get you.
Oh, you know, that's what the hot flash thing is, you know? 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're cold. 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're cold. What the heck, you know? Don't mess with
I
a
didn't
woman.
know. It sounded like a fun accessory to me. I'm like, wait, what the foo-foo? I need a foo-foo.
Well, see, Jill, if
Going
you would...
there?
See, I told you to come to the studio.
I know.
Certain things we got to keep secret.
Oh my
Well, I'll have to. Okay,
Yes,
I'll
I'm
friend
definitely
you,
on Facebook.
and you can see me. I have a picture of me and I call it. God, what do I call
A
it?
rug.
Sweaters that is really kind of reminds
It's
you
a shag rug
of
with holes in it.
A sweater.
I will. So what we're going to
It
do
sounds
is...
super comfy.
It sure is, Jill. Trust me.
That part it does. So I think what we should do is let's hear some of Jill's music, James. Let's cue something up, and we'll let our audience hear. We'll take a little break. We'll come back and speak to Jill some more after a couple of her songs so people can get a taste of what we've already experienced.
Ooh, yes, I'm loving it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're clicking everything.
We're working some of the glitches out, you know, but we're very glad to be in this very spacious room. No matter what you do in life, there's some glitches in the beginning. So we're
That's
working
right.
with it here live in this particular studio, and we are feeling it totally. So we
Yes.
just got to get the electronical glitches all settled out out, and until they get to go.
Yeah, so let's continue on,
keep
Jill.
going here.
After you did your first concert, what was that like? What was your feelings at that point?
I was totally petrified. I didn't even want to do it.
Yeah, huh?
I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And just thinking about it, I would break out in hives, and I had to get a dress that went all the way up to the top of my neck because my entire chest would break out in hives because I would just get so anxious thinking about it. But,
Wow.
you know, it was a really great lesson for me because it was a total success. And at one point when I was singing, I looked down at, you know, at the crowd and people that were standing there, and I saw people's faces, and they were positive, happy, good energy faces, smiling faces. And I realized it was like, you know, a second that it took me to realize these people, like, they want you to do well. You know, when you go out there and you have to entertain the people, but for the most part, people wish you well. They want to have a fun time, and they were having fun, and that energy then made me happier. And then, you know, I realized now one of my favorite things to do is to walk right into my fear because I was so scared to do that, and I did it, and it was so wonderful that now I kind of like play that game with myself all the time. Like, oh, I'm scared of this. This means it's going to be awesome.
Oh, you know what? I can totally
I try
relate.
to do that all the time.
When I am in front of an audience, being able to see those smiling, energetic faces really pumps me up and enables me to really do my best when I'm speaking to the audience. So I can totally relate to you when it comes to that energy thing.
Yeah,
so I can relate to
exactly.
you.
Yes.
You know, Jill, it's funny you said about being scared. Some years back, a national organization approached me. I had a custom tailoring and image consulting business, and they wanted me to do a presentation at their annual event in Miami Beach. So I had to send them over a PowerPoint presentation, and I never spoke in front of like 250 people. I was like you. I was like, really? They want me? I was hoping the presentation wasn't going to be good. But they loved it. And you saw the people sitting like on the edge of their seats. You can tell they wanted more information. And that's what gave me my strength.
Right. I mean, I have a really unique, lucky experience because I'm put on concerts and events with artists who have had hits on the radio, some of them for 30 years, you know, and these artists, they're lucky that they're still out performing. But for me, my career and success has been completely organic. I don't have a major label behind me. You know, freestyle, that genre in itself is hard for the radio. I don't have a machine behind me, and I never had. It's really, I've been like, you know, one-woman show. I definitely have a team of people who help me, but I don't have a major label, and I never have. So, and I haven't been on, you know, New York major primetime radio, a couple mixed shows here and there, and, you know, I've had some lucky moments, but I've never had a song in rotation on the radio, and that's really how people get to know music. Maybe this is like my major record label brain talking, but in my experience, you know music when it's played on the radio a lot, you know? So for me, people know my music because it's been shared and because of social media and because they come to the shows and because I've worked really hard organically. So I feel like every time I get up on stage, I'm singing a brand new song for a lot of people. You know, like I've been singing the same songs for a couple years, but it's the first time a lot of people are hearing the songs and I have to win them over, as opposed to like, you know, a George Lamond or a Lisa who gets up and, you know, sings a song that is a major pop song that everyone heard on the radio for so many years.
That's right.
So I feel really lucky that I have the opportunity, and I feel, you know, also too that I just have that much more to prove in my show and in my performance. It has to be fantastic because I feel that I'm so lucky that I'm even in the position that I get to be in.
That's very well said. And you know what? You're going to make it because you got a great song. You got a great attitude. You got a beautiful heart. You got, and as part of your bio, which I want to go over, I noticed one of your songs promotes autism awareness, Light It Up, which I think that's amazing. And how did you come about to put these two together?
Well, like I said, I've been working really hard, and it's all been self-promotion, you know, and there's only so much self-promotion I feel like someone can do. And I was talking to my friends and my team of people who work on music and things with me, and I said, I'm so lucky to have this platform that I have. and I want to use it to do something more than just promote myself. I need to help other people. I need to do something that I feel is important. And I work with special needs students sometimes, and so that's something that's close to my heart. And I have friends who have special needs children, and I went through something with my own son, and so I felt like I wanted to do something to raise autism awareness. So I got together with Todd Terry, who's been my producer extraordinaire, who I can count on for anything, and I told him, and he got behind it, and I got together with feature motion picture producer named Judy San Roman, who has become one of my closest friends, and she got behind it. The cinematographer, Andrew Henriquez, got behind it, and we got together and we created this music, this song, and then we shot the video. We had children in it who are on and off the autism spectrum, and, my goal was just to raise the awareness and try to get that out as much as possible. And so many people shared it, and it came to the attention of the people from the Golden Door International Film Festival, and they put it in their film festival, and it opened for a major motion picture. So, it's awesome.
Yes, it is.
So great. All the passion that's been behind it.
I have a young lady that I've mentored for many years, and we've become like big sister, little sister. And she has a son who has autism, and she's a single mom, and so it's really, and not only autism, I believe he also has cerebral palsy, so there's a lot going on with him, and it's very difficult, but she hangs in there, and she does what she needs to do, and she lives in California, so there are a lot of services for children who have special needs, and I think it's important to know, what's available wherever you live, whatever state you live in.
Right.
This is No Excuses. My name's Rodney Arbona. I'm here with Deborah Kofer and our special guest, Jill Tirrell. As we took a little bit of break, thanks for your patience, folks. And where did we leave off, Jill? We were talking about autism awareness and what got you into that. And that was very, very inspiring on how you came up putting all these components together with autism awareness.
I've worked with students in a bunch of different communities, and I have found that, the most successful communities are the ones who are aware of each other, all the different types of people and different types of intelligences, and, so I think that's important, not just for special needs community, but for all different types of communities, to just be aware of and accept each other and work together. I think that makes for a successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I noticed you sang the national anthem, and this was a national boxing event, I believe, at the Taj Mahal.
That's a cool opportunity. They said, "Do you want to sing the national anthem for Spike TV?" I'm like, hello, of course.
It was only 93 million people. I don't know what was bothering you.
He got me down to Atlantic City, and I had sung in Atlantic City before, and I figured this is going to be, 3,000 or 4,000 people.
Right.
I'm nervous, but no big deal. I've done it. I can do it. But this was going to be different because I had to walk into a boxing ring. Like, it was really cool.
Oh, my goodness.
Anthem, which,
yes.
do not forget those words. You have to make sure it's a 3-octave song.
That's right.
Than my usual thing, but I can handle this, right? This is another thing I'm scared of. Let's do it. So I get there, and the main producer, right before I'm about to walk into the ring, goes, "Guess how many people are watching tonight?" And in my mind, I'm thinking 5,000 max.
Right.
93 million.
Oh, God.
That kind of killed an octave. Or added a few, I should say.
I added a few, definitely.
93 million. Okay, I'm going to pretend you just didn't say that. I wish you would have told me after I was done. But it was really cool. And the audience, like, same thing. I can remember, like, a man in the front row who kept on, like, looking at me and moving his arm, like, yes, yeah. And he
that's
really,
awesome.
That person, I have no idea who it was, really gave me good energy to just, believe in myself and keep doing it.
That's awesome.
It really is. And,
I've never been to a boxing match, though. Have you ever been to a boxing match? They, like, punch each other right in the head.
Yeah.
No, I've no.
Yeah, it's not a pretty sight, boxing.
I always thought it was pretty brutal, so I didn't want to see it up close and personal.
it is barbaric if you
It
think
is
about
rather
it.
barbaric.
But and the most difficult song to sing a cappella is the national anthem. So kudos to you for that.
I killed it.
Yeah, I know you did.
Well, it definitely sounds like a fabulous, fabulous experience and moment. And I think
Light
it's
it up,
important for
yeah.
people to realize that there are a lot of wonderful and exciting moments out there in the larger world, but you have to be willing to go out and find those moments.
That's
So,
right. Live without fear.
Live without fear. Go out and do it. Just do it.
So let's do it. We're gonna play.
Live with the fear and just accept the fear and just walk into it and realize that choose that you're going to pick something else over the fear. Because the fear doesn't go away. Like
That's
I
right.
tell you, it doesn't ever leave. You
Absolutely.
just have to decide that something else is bigger than that, you know?
Good
Absolutely.
point.
Your dream or whatever it is bigger than that. And like I'm living the dream. Like I might not be, Mariah Carey, whatever, but
You're better.
me, I'm living I've lived out childhood dreams that people say I never thought this would happen. Oh no, I always thought this would happen.
Good for you.
This always what I planned to happen, and I feel like really anybody, if you prepare yourself and you educate yourself, and you do what it takes to get what you have to get done. I really think people could do whatever they want. I really do.
I agree with you, Jill, wholeheartedly. And one of the things I tell people is that they have to put fear in perspective. Fear is designed to warn us when we're in danger. And, unfortunately, people take fear out of perspective and they're afraid of everything. They use fear. And I think fear is used as an excuse often
Yes.
not to succeed, not to do.
Not to try.
Not to try, exactly. So if you say, okay, fear is an emotion that's designed to warn me when I'm in danger, and then you use it only for that reason.
Exactly. And that part of fear too, being on stage and speaking also, as we know, most of it is because as performers, we want to be perfect. And we want to inspire the audience. We want to give them some degree of energy. So we kind of feel that weight on our shoulders. With 93 million people, that's a whole lot of weight.
That's a whole lot of weight, exactly.
It's about a third of the country.
Yeah, tell me about it,
And as soon as I was done, I went. They escorted me off, and I sat down. I breathed. Okay, now I'll do it. Let me go do it again for real this time.
Good, good for you.
And it was like, "Good, honey," and I'm like, "Well, I want to do it again. That was so much fun, Like once you do it once, then you're good."
That's
right.
right.
It's like riding a roller coaster. The first time you do it, you're
You
like,
puke.
you're scared. Yeah, you're scared shitless. Ooh, did I say that?
Yes,
okay.
you did.
All right, you're scared to half to death.
So
I'm ready to do it. I know where that one drop is, and I'm ready for it.
that's right. Exactly. So perfect. So let's do this. I believe we got one of your songs queued up. So we're going to attempt this fearlessly.
Fearlessly. Dun, 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 dun.
And we're all in it together. And let's hit this, James. Now I got
Well, I
something.
know people are listening in. They're hitting me up online.
Oh, that's good.
I see that people are listening. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you. So you had another performance. I noticed you sang at Central Park.
That was really cool, very historic, to be at that stage, in that Central Park stage. That is
Okay.
so cool.
And the band shell itself, I mean, that outdoor band shell is, like you said, it's just an historic place all on its own.
Yeah, just to be standing there. That show, it wasn't about me, it was for Making Strides for breast cancer, American Cancer Society. So it absolutely was about everyone else who was to overcome their illness or walking for other people who did or didn't, And I was really honored to be part of that and to go sing and entertain everyone. It was early in the morning, and that was awesome. It's really, really cool to be in Central Park. And that was a ridiculously huge audience, but they were there to walk. But there were a lot of people. It was graced and pink, and it's nice to be part of something that's bigger than you.
Absolutely.
That's so perfectly said.
We so agree.
You can feel your heart just expanding. Are you ready over there, boys?
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
There we go.
Ow.
beside you all your life.
What a beautiful voice.
Beautiful voice. Woo!
If you have no hand to hold,
Thank you,
reach
guys.
for mine. I promise I will make sure you get by. I'll give you your roots to grow and wings to fly. Light it up.
Ooh, I'm loving
You
that.
can do anything.
Woo!
Light it up. You can do anything. Light it up. You can do anything. Don't ever let nobody take your dreams. Light it up, blue. Light it up, blue. You could never say another word, and it's alright. 'Cause I can feel your feelings too by looking in your eyes. It doesn't matter where we go or where we are. 'Cause I know your heart and you have my heart. I know who you are. Light it up. You can do anything. Light it up. You can do anything. Light it up. You can be anything. Don't ever let nobody take your dream.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Ooh,
Way
my
to go,
goodness.
Jill.
I agree with you, Rodney. Better than Mariah
Thank
Carey.
you.
Oh, my
you
gosh.
have a fabulous voice. My God, I have goosebumps. You know, thank God for
I
my
could see
fuzzy
them.
wuzzy.
I could see them through her fuzzy wuzzy.
Yeah,
That's how big they are.
I mean, awesome.
Oh my God, that was great, Jill. That's great.
Thank
yeah,
you.
we're gonna
That's so
put.
nice to say.
Oh, you're so welcome. Please,
Wow.
we're gonna hit up another one. Can we throw another one in there, James? There we go.
Okay. Ow.
I don't want to listen to me any talk.
Jill, I might start getting up and dancing in a minute. Woo!
Her foo-foo's coming off.
My boo-boo's coming on.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, oh, oh. I wanna be alive. show me it's something you would do. What I want is a real love, and real love. You gotta keep believing. What I want is a real love from you. Loyalty is the only thing that what I want is a real love, and if you wanna know me, you gotta keep on showing me.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Way to go, Jill.
We're going to have to ask them to add you to the music queue for GenesisRadio.com.
Oh, that's for sure.
You know? Wow.
That would be cool.
Oh, absolutely.
When I do these shows, I have to do like a certain, my set is very limited because I usually open the show and I have to go on. Everyone has a very limited set time. So that song just felt so long. I forgot about the whole second verse because when I do it, I had to do it quickly. So that was cool.
Yeah, very
like,
cool.
This song is forever.
Oh,
Awesome.
well, if you don't mind,
Wow.
we're going to use it during our show here, during breaks from time to time, if you allow us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, feel free.
Oh,
Totally
thank you.
Feel free.
Thank you.
I'm feeling it.
Yes,
Feeling it, girl.
absolutely. So, Jill, what do you got coming up? I understand you got an event coming up soon. Was it right before Thanksgiving, I believe?
Yes, Thanksgiving Eve, there's going to be a big, huge party in Totowa at Ruby's Lounge. It's at the Holiday Inn, so I can't wait. I used to live up in that area, and Ruby's Lounge is always a really big place for everyone to go up there. A lot of acts would always go, and I've never made it there. So this is going to actually be my first time there performing, and there's some other people on the lineup. It's going to be a really fun night, and tickets are extremely reasonable. I mean, they're like $10.
Oh, my God, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's awesome. Yeah.
So,
And that's the Holiday Inn on Route 46, I believe?
yep,
I know the area as well.
So, yeah, so I'm excited. I'll be there. I figure, people can go there, stay over if they have to, You don't have
Absolutely.
to go far. So I hope to see a lot of fun. So a lot of times people will be like, oh, when am I going to get a chance to see you? When are you performing around here? Because, they brought me down to Miami and going to Texas. I'm in Queens. When are you going to be in Jersey? Listen, Jersey people, this is your chance.
All right.
There
your
you go.
moment.
All
That's right.
And that's
Listen up, Jersey
that's
folks.
actually next Wednesday.
That's
am I
right. Next
Yeah.
Wednesday. And for those of
I
you,
know. Can
Wow.
you believe it? Thanksgiving is happening already?
It's right here up upon us.
it's on top of us. And
It's
that
right on
isn't
top
too
of
far
us.
from New York City either. So you New York City people, you can come in from New York City to get into Totowa. You're literally just exit, I think it's 52 because I know the area,
Right.
off of Route 80. It's about 15, 20 minutes into Jersey after leaving New York City. So it's not a far ride at all. And there's plenty of parking there
Yeah,
because I know that area.
It's literally 12 miles. That's my thing.
Perfect.
Like, I'm a Jersey girl, so I like to, that is what I get anxiety about, the parking. And people will be like, oh, if they don't send a car for me, I'm like, what's the parking like? Am I going to have to parallel park? Because they don't save me a spot in the front.
With cones.
Yes, they did that at the Golden Door International Film Festival. They saved me a spot in front of the theater with cones. It was like, it just meant so much to me because it made me feel so calm.
So when
Knowing,
I
like,
showed
I'm not
up
gonna have
and
to
I saw
circle
those
the block.
cones, now I know why. My Jeep ran them over. Your car must have been gone.
So appreciative of that.
Oh, that's so great. So yes, so next Wednesday, folks, don't miss it. As you can already tell from her heart, her music, she's just an amazing person and an outrageous performer. That's the 23rd. What time is it, Jill?
Doors are at 8 o'clock.
Doors are at 8
Everything's
o'clock.
on my Facebook page.
Okay.
I would love for people to check out my Facebook, Jill Tirrell. I'm very Googleable.
Good.
I'm on Instagram and I'm on all over social media.
Yes, check out her Facebook page, Jill
Awesome.
Tirrell. She's on Vivo as well, where you can get some of her music. And next week, the 23rd, doors open at 8, so don't miss it. There's plenty of parking there. I know that parking lot. I used to have a business not that far away, so I used to freak in that area myself. Jill,
Did
I
you
want
say you used to freak?
frequent
Oh,
that
frequent.
area.
I thought,
No, you're
I
the-
thought he said I freak. You. That's what you thought he said too, right? Exactly.
See,
I'm like, he used to
you
freak
two
in
are
that
getting
area.
too comfortable with Jill already. You don't know her yet that well, so behave.
I'm like, what? Did he say that?
And we're not even drinking tonight.
You know, not one drink,
This
not
is the
one glass of wine.
This is our problem when we're sober on the show.
You know, hello, next week we have to bring a bottle.
There you
Okay,
go.
that'll calm us down.
We gotta go back to our naturally scheduled program.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh God.
Look at Kevin, he's shaking his head. He's like, oh God, no. Those two again. But life is
You
wonderful,
guys are my
isn't
kind
it?
of people. Super
Yes.
fun.
Oh yes, you
Super
have to have
You're
fun.
any show you guys want to come to, let me know. You're there.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, and that's since that's his freaking area, you know.
Yeah.
He might enjoy
What's
it.
the area?
I hope nobody's listening now.
Everybody's listening. 93 million people listening.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Oh God, Jill, thank you so much for tonight, dear. You're just a pleasure to hang out with
I
and
love
share
it.
thoughts.
I can't wait to get home so I can friend you on Facebook so we can stay connected.
Yes, me too. Send me a message. Sometimes it gets full, and I don't realize it, and people try to friend me, and I can't. So
Okay.
send me a
You got it.
And thank you guys so much for the time having me on. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me.
And Jill, before you go off the air, I just want to say something. Your music's coming on, and I just want to say one thing, and I look forward to seeing you. I got a spot available on my TV show next month, so keep the day open. I believe it's the 16th of December. I'd love to see you there and sing some of your songs to the audience that streams all over the world.
Sounds good to me. I'll be there.
Ooh,
Okay,
awesome.
great.
All
Awesome.
right, awesome.
Thank you
I'm
so
going
much.
to make my hair appointment right now, Rodney.
You do that, girl. And I'm
You
sure
know
we'll...
I come correct.
I know you do.
Hello,
You know we'll be dressed to the nines.
And I'm sure it'll be a fabulous interview. I can't wait. I'm going to be on pins and needles until he posts it so that I can see it.
Sounds good. It's great talking with you guys.
Oh,
too.
same here,
Thank you
Jill.
so much,
I've
dear.
enjoyed this thoroughly.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and
See
thanks
you
once
soon.
again.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Let's
Bye.
get some
Thanks,
music.
everyone, for tuning in.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Thanks, everyone. There we go.
All right.